Sometimes I wish I could boldly go where no man's gone before. But I'll probably stay in Aurora. What are you thinking about?
Cassandra. She's a fox. In France, she would be called La Renarde, and she would be hunted with only her cunning to protect her.
She's a babe.
She's a robo-babe. In Latin, she would be called Babia Majora.
If she were a president, she'd be Abraham Lincoln. Did you ever find Bugs Bunny attractive when he'd put on a dress and play a girl bunny?
No. No.
Neither did I. I was just asking.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another week of Muskies on Tap. Welcome to episode number 155. I have one of your three hosts tonight. We got just the Mott crew on here. We got none other than Max, my brother, Brian, who is currently on the drive. He'll be on his regular mic, I don't know, in 15, 20 minutes or so. And then myself, Gus, on the mic. And we are hot off of OG Opener, aka Green Bay Opener, right now in northern Wisconsin. We got some reports to fill you in. We just had our little Bender weekend, and it was during a tough time, but we'll get into that a little bit more. So, Max, how you doing? lot of fishing this weekend. I know, I know you had some work to do once you got back to Mini, but how you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good. Glad to be here. As always, appreciate you allowing me to join the show. Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, nothing hits harder than that walk into the office on the morning following a holiday weekend, particularly
Terrible.
particularly one where you're fishing pretty much the entire time, fishing, sleeping, eating, and drinking. So yeah, great time was had by all, I think. Just felt good to be back out in the North Woods, chasing after these dumb fish. Really fun time sharing the boat with you two hooligans and our buddy Big B. Shout out. Just fun time rolling four deep. Kind of a little bit of a circus, but we've made it work the last couple years, and yeah, it just felt good to be back out there. Honestly, not honestly a little surprised by how energetic I still am. So ready
Me
to
too.
ready to keep trying to fool these dumb things. But Brian, you're on your way home from what, men's league golf tonight? So you're joining us from the cell phone for a little bit. Good to see you this weekend, buddy. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, doing great. I actually played better golf tonight than I fished the prior 3-4 days. So that was good. A good little bounce back into the norm now. Back into the bread and butter, really. Maybe I'm just a golfer, not a fisherman. Maybe need to switch podcasts in the coming future. Solo golf pod or something, but yeah, it was good. Good night of golf. Great weekend of fishing. Just maybe not for me. We all struggled, but at least some of you guys got on the board with a fish. I don't know what we fished total on the water time, 36 hours, somewhere in there. And I think I had maybe one follow, 0 catches. So an all-time low for me. But it's really setting me up for a big bounce back here throughout the summer. But yeah, I mean, I've never been more like, I like to call myself jokingly a negative and neutral fisherman. Like when the fish aren't going, it's like, oh, I'll make one go. But I did not make one go this weekend. And tried every single bait in the box. None of that worked. And I was just
Literally.
lost. But caught a bunch of bass, some good pike. And, stayed entertained out there. But yeah, tough fishing, but good weekend overall.
I kept waiting for the Magic Man Brian Eckel himself to show up last weekend, and unfortunately did not get to see it take place.
No.
But I agree. I think it's only setting you up for a big comeback next time you you get out and go, which is hopefully soon. So yeah, I don't know where you guys want to start. I mean, Gus, you've been continuing to be on the water. I think each year we go into opener thinking that the Muskies are thinking about us all winter long as well. and I
Not the
think
case at all.
it's,
Turns out they don't
turns
think
They
about
hate
out
us
us.
one bit.
turns out they don't think about us much at all. So, um, yeah, I mean, yeah, where do you guys want to start? I mean, we could just kind of talk about
I
the overall.
Yeah, I mean, I could just preface the weekend. We can kind of go through it real quick. We put out a post on Facebook and Instagram for some Q&A questions, mostly because we didn't know how much we would be able to even talk on the weekend because overall it was a struggle for us. I think it might have been lake choices and whatnot. We ran across a lot of lazy fish, and turns out after fishing more this week, I'm running into more spawning fish yet up here. So we're dealing with just a lot of craziness, with all that happened in May, cold May, ice off at a normal time, warm up after ice off, possibly some hella spawning or starting on the muskies, and then just cold turkey, snow and icing and just cold weather in May, and then we got hit with just a hot flash and got to watch two muskies a few days ago getting it on in the shallows of 72
You know,
degree water temps. So we had some just goofy weather going on
shag
here.
fest.
At
Yeah,
least
right.
they're
This is perfect timing if you own a 8 ounce weight and a giant treble, and if you own like 17 live scope units.
Get up there and
Fantastic
get
time to go
active.
musky fishing right now. It's just a
dear Lord,
fantastic
Gus.
time.
Well,
Sorry.
yeah, no, it is quite ironic that the year where there was so much hoopla on the opener change and protecting the spawn, of course, it's the year where the spawn is happens, very, very late, and
Seriously.
just kind of puts you into a little bit of a mental pretzel, like, well, might have to kind of reevaluate this whole ordeal in general. I mean, I think it was a good learning experience. Overall, like you said, Gus, we went to a lot of lakes. We were trying to do our best to find post-spawn fish. I think we we did stumble across a little bit of a pattern at times. But as we've kind of done the last, few years, this opening weekend, we've used a little bit as just as much for exploration as, going out and trying to hammer fish. And if we
Right.
can pair the
That's
two up, then that's awesome. We've been lucky to do that the last couple years. But this year, it just, we went to, I don't know, how many bodies of water did we fish in 3 days? 11, 12? I
It
lost
was
count.
it was 11 and 2.5. After 3.5 days, it was 12, and then just in the past 2 days I've been out, it's been one of them was an overlapping lake plus three others. So in a total of about 15 lakes in like 5.5 days that I've been on. I would have thought to find some better patterning and better, like more active fish, but no, it's tough. And I do find that funny, yeah, amidst the year that we had that we just are dealt with
Yeah,
spawning. I mean,
a
so
true
so
look
what
in the
I
mirror type situation.
right. So what I meant to kind of add on when I said I'll like preface the weekend was like we do use these weekends and this is not at all an excuse. That we do use
Uh-huh.
these weekends for full exploration. We'd love to beat up on bites and go back to stuff we really know, but it's almost like hunches on lakes or bites on certain lakes that we just want to go check out, see if they happen. Sometimes they do. The last few years we've been doing extremely well. Like the last two openers were absolute smash fests. Our summer benders have been absolute smash fest. Like, we've been graced with some good weather. But this year, I think I got a little blindsided. So, I was running around south a little bit this year, catching some muskies, having a little bit of fun. Came back here, went smallmouth fishing, catching a shitload of smallmouth, having a ton of fun. And in my free time, I scouted new lakes. So the good and the bad of that is I'm looking at a brand new body of water I don't know anything about. I don't know about weed growth. I don't know about anything on these spots. And I'm finding areas that look really good, and then turns out come opener when we're going to these lakes that I do know, it seriously blindsided me. I'm like, oh shit, our weed growth is terrible. And the progression of these lakes are god awful. And I've only been spending time on smallmouth lakes, basically lakes I do not musky fish and or don't have muskies in them. And now here we are, and I'm musky fishing heavily on all, half new lakes and half lakes I know really well. And it's like, whoa, what's going on here? Like
Yeah.
we're looking at milfoil beds that were up to the surface last year on opener, and now they're down to the little stubbles of like six
Yeah.
inches.
Yeah, but I mean to throw a few positive lights on the weekend, one we did catch some muskies and some new lakes that we've never been on, so you can add a
Three, I
couple,
believe.
yeah, three more lakes that you've never caught a muskie on, so we can add those to the list, which is awesome. And then I think a big highlight for me, and Brian might chuckle at this one, but honestly, we went to a lake that I don't know if the DNR listed as a muskie lake, but it was kind of a hunch, something that Gus and I honestly just saw on the map and we're like, well, maybe there's some muskies in here. There's a couple feeder creeks going into it, and just kind of searching around on the Googles, maybe finding some old stuff on it. Haven't heard anybody say anything about this lake ever. We show up and I think our second spot, you had a upper 40s inch muskie come flying in on
Yes.
a glide bait. So like definitely some positives to take away. We ended up not catching a fish on that lake, but that to me was really cool being like, all right, we went to a lake that we had no clue if it even had muskies in it. And then the first couple spots, raising a big fish and we moved another one in there. So you kind of just add that to the Rolodex, of some new water. I'm
Hmm.
sure you'll probably end up going back to at some point in time this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll definitely be going back to, and then the other lakes that we went to and caught some small fish and didn't really move any. I realize now that truly if they are somewhat in that major spawning funk phase, those are like big river systems connected. There's a lot of lakes up here that have creeks running through them, and then they have actual river systems that run through it. And these muskies could just be moving all over the place and cycling through and making them a little bit more unpredictable, let alone we're going there for the first time ever on these lakes. So the known factor of, where to go in case you don't see them on X spots, that's kind of what was lacking a little bit on our part. But we just tried to, play the cards right and keep hopping lakes until we found some active fish, and it just took a while, and it took a lot of you know, triggering. So that's why I'm surprised old Brian down there didn't trigger one to bite. But that's right. I think you're just shaping up for a mean comeback here. I think the next time, if you don't get out on Green Bay, I think the next time you'll be musky fishing up here might be for a morning or two around 4th of July, possibly, if able to get out. Might be a tough year with Fourth of July landing on a Saturday, but we'll make her happen.
Oh, that sucks. I didn't even know that. Just hearing that for the first time, 4th of July on the Saturday is like a nightmare.
Oh
Hearing it for the
shit.
first time.
Yeah, the first
Uh-oh.
time.
I feel you. I think too though at the end of the day, like sometimes it's good to just get punched in the mouth right away to start the year a little bit. I mean, we did catch some fish on some cool bites, doing some cool stuff. So like again, it was not all doom and gloom. I mean, I think we got better every day as the weather kind of heated up. Monday before we left was not a full day, and it was easily our best day with the amount of fish seen and two decent fish caught. So. It was definitely trending in the right direction, and uh, yeah, I mean, dude, it's musky fishing. Like, I think it was a good reminder. You start the year and you're like, oh, we're just gonna catch so many fish and it's gonna be
All
awesome. And
right.
I,
sometimes it's not always the case. So it's still
I
fun
think
as hell.
what hurt was like what made it more painful not catching fish is like we were on what felt like A1 spots on new lakes the whole time. Like great cabbage, great weeds, great, main lake point, main lake hump, like just perfect spots that were fun to fish. And we just like we're not seeing a sign of life. But yeah, I mean it happens. Good to get punched in the mouth every once in a while. These fish are really hard to catch. And at the end of the day, like in hindsight, great to see all the new baits. We had plenty of new baits to test
Oh
out
yeah,
from
it was
from
awesome.
Expo season and the off season. So good to experiment with those a little bit. I don't know. I think my all-star bait of the weekend that did not move a fish or catch a fish was the Navin I got from Guide's Choice up on Eagle River. Thing was just working perfectly and the muskie hated it, so that was cool. But
That's
it's gonna catch a
Real
fish
cool.
eventually. It looks too good, but
it definitely will. It
didn't
definitely
work
will.
this weekend.
Yeah, but I mean, it is, it's still fun. The few we got, we're on some light tackles, some small baits. One cool bite on a little post spawn male up in the reeds, ripping a spinner bait through some pretty thick reeds. Just stuff like that was kind of fun. So, certainly some fun moments. It was just overall, I think we still had a hilarious time. I mean, we were geeking out a majority of the time. Definitely got down to the dumps a few times. I don't know, boys. I think I stuck to my goal of not
Mm,
complaining about the weather, but man, that
mm.
Saturday rainstorm and me forgetting a raincoat was not the best. I had to really stay strong there.
And the Sunday rain. I
Yeah,
mean,
well.
we got pushed off the water then, but
That is the product of not having good service in the North Woods. We were actually on a lake, had no clue there was a storm coming. Nothing in the forecast all day. Big, mean, angry clouds on the horizon, looking like they're rolling in. So we finally, we say, well, that's definitely gonna hit us. We get off the water, we get to some service. Brian, weather guy Brian here, saying, hey, look, the storm is rolling north. Let's drive 45 minutes south. We drive 45 minutes south, only for that storm to take a little bit of a detour and come right down at us and kick us off the water once again. So
yeah.
we went to the bar and had a good time.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. We thought we were dodging it. We like the original Audible was going to be too far north, so we're like, let's just be safe and go even farther south. And we
Right.
got to that lake, fished for maybe 20, 30 minutes, and then it was like, all right, there's lightning over the trees, it's coming in hot. And we pulled. And Max, there's your attitude a little bit. Like, I don't know how you grade this on the scale of, not being within your goal, but you're like, man, I could fish in this, like, or you being sarcastic, like, oh man, like a little bit of rain never hurt nobody. Meanwhile, it's like lightning over the trees.
Yeah, I think it's just because Max didn't see the lightning, but it was pretty funny when we got off and like the wind was coming through. You could tell there was a storm passing, and it was
Just no
like
rain yet.
just ripping to the north of us. And then
Yeah.
it was just like raining a little bit, and we're like, oh wow, yeah, totally couldn't fish in this. This is
Yeah.
brutal.
Getting
Just like
soaked.
drizzling out.
I was ready to take a lightning bolt to catch a fish at that point. So,
I felt so good that Sunday night
oh
too. Like
yeah,
I felt like, all right, now we're gonna like for sure move one, back on a familiar lake and just got shoved off the water too soon. But it happens. It happens. On to midsummer bite.
yeah, yeah. No, well, Gus, I'm excited. I know your season's kind of ramping up, and your guide calendar is going to start to be a little more consistent here. So I'm excited to. I think you mentioned in I don't know if you were doing like a recap or maybe a current situation, but you kind of had predicted this warm weather will probably help kind of push everything along and get maybe these systems firing up again. And sounds like you're looking forward to maybe a little bit better of a bite here in the near future.
Yeah, certainly. I think with this warm weather paired with fish getting on the move, I think we just need some good sunlight, get the weed growth up. If we start getting some better cabbage beds out there and this heat up is like establishing a good warm water temperature, I mean, we could have rubber ripping soon, like really soon, and like a decent bucktail bite. And then just throw out the twitch baits and whatnot when it gets a little tough or off moon or I just when it starts to feel a little bit colder out, kind of that when you feel the humidity leave the air. But if it feels like humid, dense, warm, big fluffy clouds, I mean, just start ripping rubber. These fish truly do want to eat very soon. Like they're just in a zombified mode because the temps are rising, 6 to 12 degrees from morning to 5 p.m. right now. So,
20
but
degrees.
that's just because they're cold. And we have 88-degree sunny flat calm days. So, we just need a little wind. It's going to be another flat calm day tomorrow, but then I think it starts to kind of even out and it's not so crazy. So I'm
Yeah.
just looking forward to it. I've had some reports. I'll plug both of these. I actually did two reports recently. One for Thorn Bros, a little quick one, and then a more in-depth one on next gen for Doug. He asked for a report right away from a lot of us that are fishing right now. So if you want that or all the stuff that he's putting out lately, of course, use code MOT10 MOT10 to sign up 10% there. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the season. Either way, got plenty of dates lined up with clients and I think it's going to be an exciting year nonetheless. It's just a different start from last year. That's all. Just like I was just chatting with Taylor Flannery, and he's not wrong. Last year's opener was really good because it was like June 20th on opener. I mean, we were just smacking them in pretty predictable places, and with a mixture of deep and shallow fish because that's kind of typical late June pattern. And now we're just on to shitty read. I mean, this is just like a complete different ball game from last year. So
Right.
what we
Well,
saw in opener
That's what I
last year will
keep
come out.
saying is like we just got bad timing. If this is a traditional opener like May 30th or whatever, like a week later than it was this year,
Yeah,
I think it would have been great. Like I think within
yeah,
the next week you're gonna have great fishing, but we were just a week too early, and that's kind of how it is every opener. You're gambling on, splitting hairs of the dates.
Yeah, and honestly, it looked like the bite was really good down in Green Bay from the looks of it. And honestly, I people did, some people did well up in the North Woods. So I think it just goes to show like
mm-hmm,
these fish are very difficult, but there's always something to be had. If you really put your thinking cap on, you can go out and get it. But it's like we say with fishing, even just tournaments and stuff like that. Like there's some people that just crack the code for that 2 day stretch, and there's some people that don't, and sometimes you're on the right side, sometimes you're on the wrong side. It's just kind of
for
how
sure.
how it goes. That's part of the game, but that's honestly what makes it fun. I mean, if it was just like
Seriously,
everyone was
just silver
smashing them,
platter. Yeah,
yeah, silver platter would be uh yeah. But
boring.
yeah, you guys just want to roll right into Q&A unless you got anything to put a bow on our opener recap?
I think we roll right into Q&A, to be honest. Max, you got something pulled up right there, or I'll just kind of we have a ton. Thank you everybody that shipped us over a question or two. We're not going to be able to get to all of them. We have a ton across both Instagram and Facebook. I'm just laughing looking at this first one. Uh, no dances with muskies. We're not gonna bitch about the weather apps for 15 minutes again this week. I know that got everybody all fired
What?
up a couple weeks ago. Come on, no, no, Brian.
I didn't
I
even
know you're
see that
mad about
one. That's
that.
hilarious.
I think that was a new one, but that was
I got a good one just to start us off here because Brian mentioned the new bait thing. Zach Mole
Shout
said,
out.
"What was
shout
the
out.
weirdest bait thrown and by whom?"
I think I know it. I think Brian threw it,
Of
you
course.
know, of course.
Oh, was it a
And
mod bait?
it was Brian's mod bait. Do you want to tell us about that, Brian? The one that I kept
Yeah,
yelling
I
at you for using. I'm like, that's way too aggressive for right
I know
now.
I don't think it was aggressive. I
Oh,
think it's
It
really?
was
honestly I think it's a
aggressive.
great mod, and I think it's subtle, but it adds more action to the swim
It looked
bait.
It
really
looked
good.
looked sick. Going to
Yeah,
work.
yeah. It was a white, what is that, 6 inch
7 inch
Bam
swim
Bam
fin.
swim fin, 7 inch swim fin. And I put a
Cougar
uh
baits.
cougar bait chatterbait on the front of it. So you're not
The
getting like the knocking of the chatterbait onto the rubber, obviously. It's quiet, but you're getting a lot more like pulse in the bait. So the whole swim bait's kind of shaking a little bit more. Maybe weights it down a little bit, but I mean it looked great. I was fishing it over like I don't know, 8 to 10 foot weeds, and I mean it was riding perfectly at like 6 feet, and I think it's a good switch up maybe from a swimming dog. It's a little bit smaller, obviously, so. I don't know. I mean, I think it should have worked. Bite was off, right? Maybe the guide had us in the wrong spot every once in a while when I was throwing it, but it was definitely a mod of mods, and maybe try it again later in the year. I don't know.
Not
You'll
pointing
have to try it
fingers though.
again. No. Sorry, I was
Yeah.
reading. Did you say something about me?
No, 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 nothing about you.
No, no,
No,
nothing about
no,
you.
no.
Okay, sounds good.
No.
All right. Brian, another one here. This is directed directly at you from Big Beast Jack. You know who you're paired with tomorrow.
No, who am I paired with?
I think you're paired with Rory.
You serious? You being serious?
Just shout out to the two people that'll get that joke.
Yeah, right.
Shout out Michael Block there for the genuine answer. Appreciate it.
Um, God, what was one I had teed up? Um, and now it's gone.
So I got
And
one
it's
here
gone.
from
And it's gone.
Ben Seidel. Shout out.
Uh,
He asked, does catching a bunch of hammer handle pike make you change spots slash baits? That is a very good question.
yeah.
I think overall, not necessarily. I mean, what's up?
Brian loves catching hammer
Oh,
handle pike.
Yeah.
I was
If you're
gonna say for
catching a bunch of
Brian,
hammer handle pike, do
spot
not
lock.
move. Spot lock.
You're having fun.
That means you are keeping the line tight, feeling something. So if you just want to feel something, spot lock. If you're looking to catch muskies, hammer handles, honestly, in that vicinity, could be some chowing muskies. We've run into both scenarios where we gotta we fish through the spot and don't see anything, but then we've ran through some areas where we catch, dink pike, dink pike, dink pike, 10 minutes of nothing, and then all of a sudden musky. And then all of a sudden nothing, dink pike, dink pike, dink pike. And then now you have your area. That's more of like the what would you call it? Like a big bay area, like a big vast weed bay. If you're
Mhm.
looking like on a specific point or a very like spot on spot or kind of a direct weed edge and you're catching pike there, I wouldn't be as apt to stick around or whatever. As of lure changes, I wouldn't change up a whole lot. Mostly just spots. I don't know if you guys got an opinion or what you remember on seeing that.
I mean, if this is pertaining to the spring, a lot of the stuff we're, hooking muskies and getting muskies to follow on or stuff pike are just absolutely obliterating. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there's much on the lure side of things. I mean, I know pike tend to, they love the crankbaits. They love, anything with like
Yeah.
stop starting. They even love the glide baits now, apparently.
I think they ate like every single type of bait that we threw this weekend, so I just don't read much into the pike. It's like, oh,
They Yeah,
They were on crack.
They
yeah.
ate more glide baits than I've ever seen them this past weekend. I
It
honestly
was
they
nuts.
usually just peck it and that's it.
Yeah.
This weekend they were clobbering it.
They were not
Yeah.
only clobbering it, they were following it and swing missing and then coming back, like doing musky-esque things. And it was
Yeah,
just
they're
like it was
adapting.
The
pretty
fact that
nuts.
Yeah.
one fish that we needed to just like smack one of our lures really bad that never abides by any weather, moon, any changes was a tiger muskie, and we were not blessed with a tiger muskie because
No.
they always
We
eat in the
were
dumb
blessed with
weather.
the tiger muskie.
Oh, that's right. One of the dinks was a tiger. I forgot
It's just
about that.
unfortunately a very small tiger
25-inch
muskie.
tag.
Yeah.
Um, okay, I found the one I was looking for. Ben Neerman.
Yes.
Myself personally, I could really go for a detailed explanation on the process you guys use after a solid hook set to make sure the fish go in the net. I've tried yelling at them and everything, and it ain't working.
Mm. Was this one on Facebook?
It was, Gus, you probably will give a much better answer, but one thing I have learned, I can't remember who talked about it, and it might have been Osfer on our podcast when we talked about tournament fishing, or maybe I heard
Hmm.
him talking about it in another place. And I have tried to do this to the best of my ability, and I know it probably pisses off Brian sometimes at points when we are fishing too up front. But when I have hooked muskies in out on the cast, I really try my best. Like usually my rod angle is slightly down and to the right, and so that hook set comes, with a lot of, kind of power left to right. Obviously, you're setting on your good side. You always want to keep that rod tip kind of moving in that general direction. You don't want to set offhanded. Those backhand sets tend to be a little bit weaker. And then just really trying to drive that fish down and to the right and just keeping that hook angle the exact same the best you can.
I
Honestly,
think
I mean,
I think the hook yeah, so I'll try to add a few things here and what I've seen and I've kind of heard both ways, to be honest. I've heard of just standing your ground just as much as walking around the boat. I've personally lost plenty of muskies doing either or. I honestly think the ones that I lose when walking them make me a little bit more mad than when I stay my ground because I feel like when I'm walking and trying to pay attention to my feet, I stop paying attention to my rod tension. So maybe I lose a little bit there, but that's just looking back at the times I have lost fish doing that. I move too quick, like right away. I'm fishing out of the back boat. Just like you, Max, set the hook to my right side, the strong side, and I start walking to the right. I don't really want to right away. I should just set the hook, keep the rod tight down, keep them from jumping, and then just pull them to the boat. And then if they really want to tow me around from there, I'll walk them. Like if it's a really big fish, I'll start moving a little bit if I have to. If it's not that big, I probably stand my ground. But in tournaments, I think 100% of the fish that Max has caught in the tournament, I have netted on the starboard side because you set the hook to the right, bring it around the trolling motor, we net it right there. Like that's just where the fish is going. You keep the angle going, and it definitely proves to be a little bit better of an option than trying to rotate them back to the left and then have myself standing on your left side, netting it right there. Because as soon as you change that angle, um, once like that first, if they don't come off on that first change, angle of the rod, typically they might have it really, really well hooked. Um, but a lot of times you don't know that until you see them at the boat.
I
I've done that and it's helped out a lot in tournaments, I think. I mean, we've netted some pretty lightly hooked fish on my end just from doing that. And I think if I would have changed the angle on those fish to net it on the side of the boat that we fish out of, I do think we would have lost those fish. But again, I think my answer is kind of coming more so from the fish that aren't horsing you around. Obviously, the game changes a little bit when you have a really big fish on. So I guess my answer is probably skewed to like a little bit more of a fish that you can hook, reel, fight for a bit, and then net. Um, yeah, obviously when a big fish is doing what they want to do, it's that
Mm,
that gets a little bit different. I think that at that point you're more so a little bit worried about tension, how you're handling your drag, where you're keeping the tip of your rod and all that stuff. But yeah.
honestly, I think you
I
just.
was
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Brad.
I always kind of feel like with a smaller fish or like, something short of like a 45 plus, like you kind of want to be the bully of the fish, like keep the rod down, you pull it where you want it to go and like keep the rod out in front of it because you have the tension with it. Like you're not going to rip it through its lip. Just keep pressure on it, guide it down and away from the boat or the direction it's swimming. And the second it crossed, your rod would cross like back over top of the fish, go the other way. Like that's your danger zone. Like
Yeah.
if you catch a small fish, I always feel like I'm like pulling it the direction I want to go, whether it's around the front of the boat or not, and just keeping that constant tension until it gets to the net, and not letting it, jump or change over to the left side or whatever. Obviously, if it's a big fish, it kind of does what it wants, but I feel like I don't know. In my experiences, the more that you can kind of control where that fish swims around the boat and pull it in that direction, the better.
Hmm. Yeah, and my the cracked out muskies are the ones that really really get me. Those are the ones that have come off where like you hook them and then they go 7 feet in the air,
Yeah, you're
cartwheel,
just kind of
and then
praying.
by the time they hit land back in the water, they're like 15 feet the other direction already. Like you're
Yeah.
just like, all right, do I click the button? Do I not? Do I just like pull me to my hands and knees down there? I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus, I've had 38 inchers just absolutely dog me in the Northwoods because of just how cracked out they can be on like a
Right.
little minor cool down, in the summer. It's
Yeah.
it's absolutely hysterical. But I think the last thing I'll add is when in doubt, just close your eyes, black out, put it in the net, and go to the next one because that's what honestly it feels like
Yeah,
at the end.
it does. It's always hard to explain what to do after you hook a fish because more times than not, you get that jolt of adrenaline, your whole body kind of jumps and from there on out, you just kind of let instinct take over. But I definitely would say, like you guys are talking about, the fish that are maybe not on the mega side or the ones that aren't totally going crazy. I've certainly had the best success with keeping the rod angle the same way and
Certainly.
trying to net them that way. Gus, you got one?
Yeah, I got I'll maybe just rope these three into one. I think there's another question in here that asks Brian and Max why you guys don't like trolling or something like that. I believe, but these couple questions pertain to trolling, and I can quick answer a few of them. Nick Beistel asks, "What's the best way to keep baits clean when trolling?" Top couple ways for sure is longer leaders and some sort of weed guard. I've used the ones from Leaders and Lures. I've used weights from Stealth Tackle that helps catches weeds. You can snip entirely off the barbs on like a 7/0 hook and put it way in front of the leader, and that will catch the weeds and also snags in case you hit that. And then another way, honestly, depending on where you're at or how many lines you're running, if you're only running like one or two, just jam that rod straight into the water on a down rod. Your rod's gonna catch most of the weeds on that one there. Um, and then we got Alex Templeton, aka Tempe. Shout out.
Shout out, boy.
Joe.
So what's your take on when and why to run a crank with wider hunting wobble versus a bait that has a tight vibe to it? That is a good question, and I honestly start using that hunting bait when you're going after the really aggressive fish and the warmer water. So I kind of just go by water temps. In a sense, in a general sense, I'll use the tighter baits when it's colder and the wider wobble baits when it's warmer. But then also in like the fall when you slow down, sometimes those wider wobbling baits have just really good action when going slow, which is why like a big 13-inch Grammer, 10-inch Jake at slow speeds actually is looks really good.
I think that's
I really like
important.
those.
Important too for like opener. We throw a ton of cranks. I'm pretty much out on the wide wobble cranks for opener early season. Like every year, it's like the shallow raiders, these jerk baits with like
Shell
barely any
Raiders and
wobble, they just
Grandmas.
get
Get
crushed.
it.
Yeah.
Those are the ones. That's
Any of
what we
those
caught this
wide wobble
weekend.
kick baits are just dead.
The slammer surprisingly didn't show up this weekend because it is more of a wider wobble.
Yeah, that's like the one exception. Maybe it's a slim profile, but like usually those wide wobbles just don't do as well.
Yeah. No, good
Agree.
call. Good call. Pretty much just on water temp and mood of the fish, you just kind of carry it through the season. We're in the 60s now. As soon as we get into like established upper 60s, low 70s, using a hunting bait like a supernatural or anything that wanders, I'd start adding it definitely into the lineup. So,
Brian, you're on your game
um,
tonight, dog. Bringing the heat.
Sharp.
Sharp.
I got the rust off after 8 months.
All right, let me fire one at you guys. Daniel Grappenthine. Love the show, guys. When fishing multiple guys in your boat, who determines the pecking order of the boat position, front to back? A little caveat: Preston Patterson did reply to that, and he jumped in the Q&A to answer. That shit doesn't matter. Muskies bite at different angles. Sometimes the guy at the back gets the bread. Sometimes it's the front guy. I got a good kick out of that.
I
the
agree.
pecking order. How do you, but how, yeah, right, right. Except for the fact that you would live and you die for the freaking one hole. So
Oh yeah.
Brian, Max, explain to the people how you guys figure out
Well,
who gets the front
I just want to
and
say when
two
we have
holes.
four in the boat, we have a very generous gentleman, Big Beast with us who enjoys the four hole Canadian side, backside of the boat. He likes throwing rubber, slow sweeping
Just
rubber,
into the abyss.
which is great for that four hole. But it does crack me up when like we are fishing a clear weed front off the back is absolutely nothing, and then like every 30 minutes, Gus would be like, "Nice stick out there for you," and I'd be like, "Oh, thanks." But yeah,
And
I mean, we
it's so
luckily we
funny.
don't have to fight over the four hole much. Usually it's just me and Max kind of button shoulders up front, and we rotate off pretty fairly.
Oh, I was cracking up. Jack on the in the four hole is like If only there was just some technology, with some live imaging, thermal
Yeah.
sonar that I could
Tell you exactly where they are.
So that I don't have to cast this whole time. Oh my
Yeah.
God, so funny. There's also a few times that I purposely ran the spot inside out. So like, you know, our typical side was casting out deeper and he was in shallower. And I remember one time he just turned around and looked at me. He's like, Gus, what are you doing? Like, I have a bulldog on. I'm not casting in 3 feet of water.
Yeah, get me out in the abyss, please.
Turn this boat around.
How we determine the pecking order? I will say, we do have as Brian said, a gentleman agreement. If the guy in the one hole does catch a fish, we usually will put him into the two hole and kind of rotate there. But as far as like the day starter, I mean, a lot of it just goes
Survival of the
to,
fittest, really.
yeah, who put on the most mass during the winter, who's kind of feeling more elf during
Yeah.
that little jockey, who gets the bait on the quickest, who makes the first
Yeah.
cast.
Yeah.
You kind of just end up with where you end up. If Brian's locked and loaded, I'm maybe getting a camera set up or doing something. Next thing I know,
Yep.
he's casting. I'm not gonna, come mess up his jam. But
There's
um,
a lot of like little like dark movements too, like a
a
little
lot of dark
antics that go
movements.
into it, kind of like, oh, I'm futzing around hooking up my bait. Oh, the hook sharpener happens to be up at the trolling motor. I'm chilling there before Gus even stops the engine. I
Right.
put the trolling motor in, I get the front of the boat. So there's a lot of like little weaseling ways you can get to the front.
Yep.
And Max is very good at them.
Very
But
good. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, lucky for me, you change baits every 6 minutes. So usually on a
Yeah,
bait
yeah.
change, there's a new
A shuffling. Yeah.
yeah, shuffling, if you will.
Yeah.
So I normally don't have to last in the two hole very long, but I think we are very respectful. If somebody catches a fish, we try to, say,
Mm.
hey, sport, come on, hop up here in the front and
Yeah.
try to
Come here,
get you
bud.
one.
Come
So
here.
come here.
Yeah.
So it's a little
Come on now.
bro. So
Come here, kid. Come on now. Get on up here.
I do want to address one of the questions I got here on Instagram.
oh, okay.
Okay.
As the creative director and merch god here in the company,
Oh boy.
Hmm.
E Simpson 717 asks, more
Mm-hmm.
merch soon? Question mark. Look, I want to make a statement here, and you guys can agree or disagree. I would like to tell you guys that we will have more merch before the end of 2026. Yay or nay?
Really?
Yay or nay?
You tell us, brother.
Well, whether it's like, just t-shirts, just ball caps, we will have a line of merch available to purchase this year. I think we got to make that a goal.
What do people want to see?
I mean,
We've done
I mean,
hoodies a
he just
lot.
said
We did
merch. Yeah, I
t-shirts.
mean, hoodies are always great. Nobody doesn't want a hoodie, but I think hats would be good too.
Yeah, we're all sold out of hats at the moment. Appreciate everybody that got a mod hat right now. They're looking a little rare actually for those that do have them out there. Take good care. A couple of the dumb patches have been kind of coming off. Just put a little super glue on there and you're ready to go. Um, there's a hot tip for you. And
like a
and
new hat design, new brand, new
Yeah, we're
type,
looking
and
at
then
some different logo type aspects, not veering off too much from our already one we got, but maybe just something a little bit more simple. So yeah, we're looking into it. Um, Gus, yeah, I got one if you are unless you're ready.
nope, go for it.
Okay, John Bigham asks, how do you keep from throwing in the net man after a botched net job and with a great gif of Dumb and Dumber?
A great gift
Yeah.
from there. Silence. Silence is good.
Hmm.
Some would say silence is violence, but honestly,
mhm.
if you just start yapping, that's when you don't want to be at each other's throats. But it's good to have a little chat after, like what went wrong, what went right, what could have been done, how to prevent it from next time. Um, but at the end of the day, it's not that serious, it's just a fish. We're out there having fun. Um, so I don't know, that's what I got there. What about you, Max? What's your experience?
As
Maybe
somebody
maybe that
has
one
a
was not a
viral
little more serious.
yeah, no, losing team of the year, all that good stuff. No, that
It's
was
all
a
chill.
Just fish.
yeah, viral videos, good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, no, people get like really pissed off when they see a video of somebody botching a net job.
Well, like,
They
what were you
do.
thinking, first of all?
Yeah,
Yes.
well, apparently I was
Why wouldn't
not.
you have just, yeah,
If I was there,
yeah,
I mean, it's one of those things where you can have yeah, I don't know. I mean, they suck, obviously. I don't know what else to say. I mean, you just kind of you learn from it and you keep it moving. I don't know. You wish you could have it back, you know?
hmm
But like Gus said, you learn from the next time. I think, you kind of earn a little bit of a mental dungeon after that. You work really hard to get these fish to bite, and then, you get super close and something like that happens. It sucks. There's no way around it. Um, but at the same time, it's what makes catching them and having everything go smoothly feel really good. I think after that, I was pretty nervous in that your next tournament fish, that's for sure. And it was,
hmm
one that was hooked super extremely light and got it in flush. So it's one of those deals where, as long as you just kind of move on from it and, learn from it and do better the next
Oh
time,
yeah,
that's all you
that
can
one.
do.
Sorry, I was trying to remember which one you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep,
So,
right on.
yeah.
Uh, let's go on a lighter note here. We got one from Mr. Vavrock himself. Shout out.
Shut up.
Said, is there anything that will make musky fishermen truly happy? Sort of kind of a question because just because of the light of the old social media scene right now is looking a little hairy out there with
Dude, it's
all
just
the
been scary in the streets this year.
crap flying around. It's just
It's just
it's absolutely brutal. I question why I'm even on social media sometimes. I wish to just shut that off some days, but at the same time, I get an absolute laugh out of it on some nights just seeing some of the idiotic comments out there. Um, maybe on some random viral videos we'll have to bring back, what was that one segment we used to do about like Facebook comment of the week or
craziest
something
comment of the
like that?
week. Yeah.
Yeah, that was always so funny.
Yeah.
dude, I
We could
feel
have a
like
full episode on that for this week.
you would like open up comment section these days, it's like wandering into like a bad neighborhood. It's just
Yeah.
like, oh shit, I don't want to be
It's
here
like,
right
oh,
now. Like
Oh
I
fuck.
gotta get
don't
out
like
of
it,
here.
don't like
This
it.
is this is
Dodge, dodge.
this is a bad spot. This is a bad spot. So
I think it's
Just
everybody like over the winter, like there's a bunch of Facebook warriors out there that, are on it every day. And then like Memorial Day comes, opener comes, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna have some good, fresh, musky content to view this weekend. And they're just like spilling all their winter demons onto people who are catching fish or not catching fish or whatever. I mean, it's classic.
It's like
yeah.
for whatever reason, all I can think of is that GIF of like that gecko that's just like slamming that button. It's just somebody just spamming the same thing on every post, just false accusation,
Yeah.
false
It's
accusation,
like a
false
slot machine.
accusation. Just pull and repeat, pull and repeat. But no, let's go around the horn here, guys. What's something truly that makes you happy out there on the water when you are musky fishing? Maybe a piece of what goes on, whether it is, catching a fish or the nature, or, what do you guys say? Like why, one good thing that you do, uh, or you get out of musky fishing, I should say.
For me, after going 3 full days of not catching a fish,
Mm-hmm.
and I've always been this way, but I enjoy fishing a type of structure and cover, especially in clear water, like the less murky water where you can see what you're fishing. You can try to like, plot your bait around in the pockets of weeds. You can fish it off a drop off. You can fish it off a tree. You can fish it, any sort of that cover stuff that you're fishing. That always keeps me entertained and keeps me focused is just, really appreciating the lake you're fishing. Which is why I hate when we get in deep water and it's just like an endless abyss of water. It feels like you're just kind of mindlessly casting, but fishing shallow and good cover is always something that keeps me coming back.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would just say like I mean, it's kind of a general answer, but just everything about it, just the process. Like sometimes, the ride is more fun than the destination. I mean, it's the banter leading up to the trips. It's time with the fellas out on the boat. It's the calls with Gus, trying to strategize on what lakes to go to, and trying to find new lakes that might have muskies in them, might not, going to these new cool places that I would never go to if it wasn't for muskie fishing. Um, it's just, yeah, kind of just like the whole process, driving to the boat launch, like you're kind of fired up. You don't know what the day's got in store for you. It could be shit, could be awesome. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
think that's
that's
just
that's
kind
the
of
thing that I
fun of it.
think that's what I think's overlooked, what you just said, where it's like I wouldn't go to these places without musky fishing. If we were like big walleye guys, we would not have gone to the 100 and whatever lakes that we fished up north. Like it's muskie that have brought us to all those different boat launches, all those different systems.
Right.
So yeah, without it, you'd never
Absolutely.
experience half of that.
Time in the car, like even just changing a lake and being like, okay, like well, how are we gonna bring it? Just I think it's you're just constantly like trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together, and I think it's like, I'm just kind of a maybe a more soapboxy rant here, but like you're not, I think in like the day-to-day stuff, you're not working your brain this way. I mean, obviously Gus's every day is a guide, but like for me, somebody who like works, full-time job, Brian the same way, you got your thing going on at work, but then you're totally doing something different. So for me, it's like I feel like it just kind of lights a fire, um, scratches an itch, maybe is a better way to put it, of just like, all right, we're gonna go out and explore today. It's gonna be super fun. And then obviously, yeah, the cherry at the end is getting a fish or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just the process. Like I'm already excited for the next trip and trying to figure it out, next go around. So
Absolutely. I think I'm gonna summarize it really simply on what both of you guys said. Especially with you're saying the process, Max. It's that whole thing right up to like the big dopamine hit. It's the aha moment. Whether it is literally as simple as a follow, the aha moment is like that's what really keeps me going. Whether it's a bite, getting on a just a crazy good pattern, or getting somebody their first muskie, that aha moment of figuring out how to dial in a new client that's maybe never even casted a muskie rod before, like just starting from scratch there. I mean, it's all that's a whole process in itself, and then trying a new lake, that's a whole process in itself, and catching the first muskie on that lake, aha moment, that's the big one that hits for me. So that's what keeps me going, that's what makes me truly happy to be out there. And I mean, everything encompasses that, being out in the Northwoods, being outside, whether it's hot or cold or sunny, rainy, doesn't matter. So Max, you got another one lined up here, or do you want me to?
go for it.
I got one from Brandon Hunt. Favorite rod and reel setup for spring, early summer. How about let's
Ooh.
go through our
Ooh.
favorite like kind of setups we use this weekend. I personally pretty much just use that lipstick 2 from St. Croix all weekend. That's an 8 foot 3, heavy power, moderate fast action with a much softer tip. Fantastic glide bait rod. I was twitching small cranks with it, working small dive and rise with it. Um, I put that with a 400 Tranks high gear, and that got the job done for 90% of what I threw this past weekend.
I was throwing all weekend. So I got a 9 foot heavy predator this winter. Used it down in Iowa, realized it was just a little bit long for throwing glides and twitching smaller cranks. So I ended up getting 4 inches taken off of it, and it was money. So it's a 9 foot -4 heavy predator, and I paired it with a 300 to Tula Daiwa reel, which has been awesome. I love that thing. It is I can throw like anything small with it, honestly. I was throwing spinner baits, small blades, small cranks, glide baits, everything. That thing was super dynamite. That Predator is like very sensitive rod, so you can kind of detect bites really nicely. Um,
What's
and
your gear ratio on the Tatula?
I'd
Do you
honestly have
know?
to go look.
Let me look it up because it's all about the inch per crank. I'd be curious on that too.
Yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out
It was
Thorn.
Tucker, shout out Tucker. He kind of just said, "Hey, we've been using this little thing. It's awesome. We love it." So I went with his rack, and yeah, it's been great. And I've been a Tranks guy for, a while now, and honestly, the tool is sweet. So that's gonna be a fun rod to play around with for a little bit longer. Probably gonna go to the bigger stuff here, soon once Minnesota goes up. But I'll definitely keep that thing in tow, especially every time I go up to northern Wisconsin.
Ooh, which one did you get, Max? They make a 6.3 to 1, a 7.1 to 1, and an 8.1 to 1. Um, he's going to check because that I didn't know they made that many.
Yeah, usually you don't see the 7.3. Usually it's like
No.
the high gear, low gear, but
So this one's got
I'd assume he has the
a
8.1, but I'm not sure. We'll see here. No.
6'3".
6.3. Oh, well,
so it is the
okay.
lower one. So that's a
Low gear.
33 and a half inch per crank, which is like your middle of the road, very solid. And honestly, that's a really good gear ratio. Honestly, a lot of times I don't even like having all that full gear ratio. I think actually my 400 Tranks high gear on my glider set up there, I think I have a lot of line off of it, so it's definitely less. I find myself overworking baits or working them too fast. So, and the craze of a lot of people saying you truly can get away with a high gear and almost everything, and the only issue and thing you got to get your brain to tell you, you got to know when to slow it down and like truly slow down. I've watched videos and whatnot and seen people saying it's like, "Yep, I'm slowing it down here. Working this bait here because it's fall and you see they got a high gear and they're still just ripping the crap out of it. So it's like, are you really slowing it down? But
Yeah.
it's perfect.
And if anyone's looking to buy that, similar setup, feel free to shoot me a message and I can kind of tell you, I'm not an expert in the thorn rod stuff. They probably would be better if you called them and talked to them, but if you want to, I guess, hear from me and the couple rods I got this year, I'd be happy to let you know what my thoughts are. So, um, all been good.
For
Brian,
sure.
what were you using this week?
Yeah, I had the 810 Stealth Heavy that we've discussed a couple other pods, but
The B
first time,
stick?
yeah, the B stick. First time using it. I was pretty pleased with
Beef
it. I
stick
mean,
or bee stick?
depending on if you have a slur or not, beef stick, same thing.
B
But
stick.
it was I was very pleased with it. It added like great action to it. I worked a glide bait better than I ever have. I was working the Rusty's glide for longer than I've ever worked a glide this weekend,
Yeah, I
and
was proud of you.
yeah, it was the rod did great. Used it for the Navin a lot for all my crankbaits. So all that was great. I have a PC Fun 811, I think it is, the high gear
Yep.
reel,
Mm-hmm.
which is great for those previously mentioned baits. I used it also for small bucktails, spinner baits. Might be a little much of a reel for that with the high gear, but you just gotta slow it down and like force yourself to go kind of painfully slow at times with some of those spinner baits and or inline bucktails early in the year. But yeah, the rod held up great, and I was a big fan of the colorway. I was kind of a little unsure with how it was gonna look when I customized it online. Just got the orange, I forget the name for it, but the slight orange skinny rings around the eyelets, not too much. So I was very happy to see that I selected the right colors for it. And the power handle on it's great too. So very happy with it for a spring rod. I think I'll continue to use it for like diving rods and stuff. Like it definitely has a spot throughout the whole year, especially with the high gear, like in the fall working bait slower. But I think in like the summer I go back to my 9.6 St. Croix extra heavy for like blades and your bigger rubber.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes
Absolutely.
sense.
Absolutely. Do we want to just keep kind of going through a couple of these or maybe do a little rapid fire here? 'Cause some of them are overlapping. Um, I'd have to dig through and shout out each one or try to find it, but I'm seeing a lot on like bait selection for next week, or what should I bring in the following week, or like what's this warm up gonna do? Um,
Gus, can I cut you
so
off real quick?
yeah.
Just because I don't want this question to get lost in the shuffle, and it pertains to exactly what you're about to say, but I just want to shout this one out. So Steve Kaiser, and hopefully you can kind of parlay the rest of the questions off of this one. So he said,
Hmm.
"Hey guys, love the pod. I can't wait to try the stash I got at the expo. I didn't fish the tourist weekend for obvious reasons. Now it's getting freaking hot. Question. I have some small baits picked out, like the 7-inch Suix I modified, and I've got that glitch. I think he's referring to the pedigree. Glider, is it too late to
Yes.
use these or should I go bigger?" And in his picture, he's got a cougar based chatterbait, a Huntsy tail, I believe 7/8, a 6-inch Ridgeway, that new 6-inch Ridgeway crankbait with the soft tail. He's got a Bam Bam swim fin, a Conklin pedigree, and it looks like either a mid or regular Medusa. Listen, those baits will work all year round.
Yeah, that's a pretty
I was
fire
gonna
lineup.
say that's a really good like mixture of small batch, big batch bait makers of like absolute fish catching machines right there that have worked in our boat, friends' boats, all that sort of thing. I would honestly with the heat up, what I was gonna add, and I don't think I said it in the intro, when we kind of talked about our weekend and like the progression and all that stuff is that do not be afraid to start chucking some bigger rubber. Um, that can honestly get some really nice fish moving and fish moving in general. Like if it feels nice and humid out and big chewy clouds and it's feeling good and hot and I'd be chucking rubber and doing some start stop like that. Like if they aren't really gonna go on blades. But I would not, there's another one here that's asking, shout out our, I don't know if our, Ardawally, Ardawally. Sorry, I don't know if I've ever, it's always,
Say
username.
Ardwali. It's like a Ardwali.
Our Dolly?
Yeah, there you go.
Ardwale.
Like what
Ardwale.
water temps would you
Dolly.
put the glides and cranks away at? I wouldn't. I mean, I keep mine in the box at all times. Obviously my favorite time to rip these baits are May, June, and then not until like September, October. But there's a few like flat, calm, sunny days or tougher days in like July and August that we've gotten it done on glide baits or brought back cranks to get some bites when maybe the bucktails, topwaters, rubber baits, faster baits don't work. So,
And I know what you see out there as far as like what classifies as a quote unquote big bait, but like the Conklin's glide bait, I would not classify as like a small glide. I mean, it's a a heftier glide bait. It's got some weight to it.
hmm
Like I wouldn't, it's an all year round glider. That's the Ridgeway. All the Ridgeway cranks are like big crankbaits. Like even the 6-inch bait,
Thick.
it's not a
Yeah.
small
it's a
bait.
thick boy.
Thick. It's thick boy. Um, a lot of these muskies forward, you don't always have to be throwing the giant shit.
Absolutely. Yeah. Um, so let's see here. I'm trying to
I,
think what
I
else I can add into the bait selection. Brian, you got something there?
oh no, you go ahead.
Um, no, I really wouldn't put down the gliders and whatnot yet. Like we got a little bit where they're still gonna be catching fish for sure, but as soon as we step into an open water style bite and we do get the Cisco's moving around before our thermoclines get established up here and we get the bug hatches going, like I've seen it where even on like systems where traditionally small baits work, throwing like big 10-inch tubes with blades off the back in early June will get the job done and move way more fish than throwing like a reg dog or something like that. When you're over the deeper structure. So honestly, we're not too far from it. With looking at the forecast, that could hit soon. Like we could just Mother Nature always finds a way to just catch back up and get right back to where she needed to be. She was
Shout
lagging a
out
little
Mother
bit,
Nature.
but yeah, shout out Mother Nature.
Mother Nate. I got another question here if you guys are ready to fire.
Fire.
Absolutely.
This is from my former Muskie Battle tournament partner, Charlie Scott. Shout out CJ
Shout out.
Scott, 1038. He said, should muskie fishermen list their own stats with fish sizes? His example, Charlie, 6'4", 210 pounds with a
Stud.
38-inch fish.
Stud.
First of all, yeah. I mean, little subtle plug there for him, 6'4", big guy. All right. But
This is where we
Looks
need the
great
beast
too.
on the
That Florida
chat.
tan is absolutely.
oh
it's
yeah, I
just
mean, he's charred up.
charred up.
Bronze. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bronze Charlie.
that's
looking
that's
phenomenal.
musky camouflage.
David Hasselhoff-esque.
Yeah.
He, I mean, I agree. I agree, though.
It's crazy.
We always see, yeah, we always see people post pictures with fish, and we're like, "Holy shit, that fish is huge!" Or that guy's like 5'2", and you just don't know. So we're like, "All right," like the video of the Amish guys carrying out like the 65-inch muskie on their back.
Oh, that's
Like
crazy.
we were just saying that, like either that guy's like 5'3", or that's like a giant muskie. So.
World record.
I kind of agree with CJ. We might need to include our sizes. So like, if maybe not weight, it might fluctuate a little bit winter to
Yeah, I don't
summer.
think we need.
No,
weight.
don't need weight.
I think I get bigger in the summer to be honest, so I don't really want to share that, but
Sure, last weekend, dude. Can I admit something?
my breakfast
admit
and
something?
lunch was chips.
Can I admit something?
What?
You want to throw something out there, Max?
Way home, on Monday night, I stopped at Quick Trip and I was checking out, had a little water, making the final push back home to Minneapolis.
Mhm.
I saw two cinnamon rolls just staring at me.
Damn, are you
I said,
serious?
you know what? Let's live low.
Let's.
You-
I deserve this. I
and
deserve
you
this.
ate, and you
This
brought
meat.
one home. You brought one home for your girl, right?
For sure, yeah. Yeah.
You didn't crush both. Mm-mm.
Couldn't let
Big
me.
sly.
Wrong guy, not me.
I just wanted to admit to that.
Was that dinner or was that the pre to dinner?
No, it was like that's where it gets bad. Is like Culver's and Rhinelander, and then
Oh, two
know,
cities. Okay.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like then got home and
Yeah. Did you eat more at home?
I did, yeah, I did.
Jesus, man. That's a hell of a day.
Stats TBD on
Yeah.
Max.
Yeah, so
Holy shit.
we've reined it back in though. We're back to regular scheduling programming now, but
You were just trying to string out vacay. I mean, really, it was Memorial Day. It was a holiday.
summer's tough, dude. It's hard driving past the Culvers. A lot of time on the road.
Yeah.
Um,
And the golden rule, you can't drive past an Arby's. So that's also there.
yeah, well, that's our one, buddy. I haven't been
Dude,
to an
that's an
Arby's since you and I went
outrageous.
into one and could barely get through ordering our meal. 'Cause we were
Bad
keeping-
experience. Yeah.
Bad experience. Not great. Not
You guys
great.
will
Not a
always
fan.
drive past an Arby's.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Those
But I,
boneless wings were not good.
those were fire back in the day. They don't even have them anymore. But they changed their menu a lot, so I do like to pay Arby's respect and go in. I don't know.
Dude, it's
Once-
just
Once or twice a quarter, I'll swing in there.
private equity getting involved in all these quick service restaurants. They're just
Yeah.
squeezing it. They're just
Yeah.
absolutely squeezing it. You can't get a good meal anywhere, it feels like sometimes these days.
Well, they hire these chefs. They don't let the chefs run with it, right? It's all like, all right, burger
think
for a
they're
minute
hiring
and 20
chefs.
seconds. Well, I'm saying everybody's got a skill, right? If you're gonna hire a guy to flip the burger, let him cook it to perfection. And I
We're
trust-
close. We're close to those things just being fully automated.
I know, and that's what sucks.
I got every once in a blue moon, we go to the Dairy Queen just down the road, and they're using an AI chatbot now to take orders.
Oh
on.
God, I would
And-
fuck with that thing.
Oh, well, like it's impossible to order because if you ever use ChatGPT and how they respond to you, like on ChatGPT, like great idea, whatever, yada yada. Like that's how
Would you
the
like to
thing,
add this?
yeah,
Don't
like
tell me
that's
what
how
to
the
do.
thing talks to you. Yeah,
That sucks, dude. I haven't seen that yet. It hasn't made its way over.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah,
wait till
yeah.
it does, but
That's
that kind of
crazy,
sucks.
dude.
yeah. And, like,
Eventually, we'll miss the days of getting like a medium rare burger from McDonald's and being like, "Damn, like that's a little undercooked." Eventually, it'll be all automated, which will
all
kinda
automated.
Just
Like
char.
I pulled up to the window and I'm like, yo, is that like an AI chatbot talking to me like in the order? Because like I didn't know. I'm like, it's just because like it was a very pleasant woman voice on the
suck. Did you say thank you to the bot?
yeah. I was like
Dude,
talking
come
to it like
on.
it was I just
You
thought
tell
it
us
was
to have
like
a
an
good day?
overly enthused worker at Dairy Queen, and then I pull up and it's some like high school kid, and I'm like.
Dog, it
Yo, I'm
wasn't
like,
you.
was that
Yo,
a
did
AI chatbot that's like taking orders? And he's like, dude, don't get me started.
No way.
It just keeps like screwing it up apparently.
I would have
What?
It's like
paid
if you like
money.
mod your order at all, it just like totally F's it up.
Oh, that sucks for the workers. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall, and you're like, oh yeah, thank you so much. You have a great day too. And it's just a robot, and you're like, ah, fuck. Uh,
That's brutal. I'm glad it's not
Yeah.
that's not hitting the Northwoods quite
only
yet.
in the big cities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Matter of
yeah,
time,
yeah.
probably. Oh
Um,
boy.
we
Gents, you got
can,
another one here?
yeah,
Or
we've got a couple I've been looking at. I guess one of them is pretty hard to answer, I think, unless Gus, you found a pattern here recently. Baits for this coming weekend, I guess. This releases on Thursday. Pretty
hmm,
much the same thing we were using without success. But what do you
because
think?
they're
Have you
gonna
found
hit.
anything? Yeah, like they're bound to eat here pretty soon.
Bound to eat. No, I really wouldn't be switching up too much. I wouldn't be straying too far from what we were doing, which is twitch bait heavy, glide bait heavy. If you're able to have that fourth person, they
Sure.
should be the blade and rubber guinea pig. If you're only down to two people, have somebody test that out a little bit. But for whatever reason, dive and rise was non-existent for us this past weekend. Like completely non-existent through the hammer jerk round, through Suix around, through the Navin around. Trying to think if I even threw
Top
another.
line,
Yeah, we threw
put
the
the
top
top
line.
line glide and dive.
Yeah. Um,
None of those. I don't know why.
no, I'm not really sure why either. But the heat up, I don't know. If they set up a little bit deeper, I think that's where rubber is going to come into play 100%. So, um, I hate to keep bringing it up, but I'd honestly put a little effort into some rubber baits out there this coming weekend with the heat for sure. Let's see here. Some of them will answer in the near future. Um, Tanner Wallos 13 asking about Lake of the Woods on opener. Any tips, must-haves for up there? So we
Good
have
question,
never
brother.
fished up there on
I'm actually the
opener,
guru. You got me at the right time.
We
but
got a bomb
I believe
podcast coming your way in a couple weeks.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say stay tuned for the coming weeks pod. I don't know I can't remember their exact opener, but that's not for another couple weeks. Um, Max, when's Minnesota opener? I haven't even been just too much
Not this
sh
weekend, but the next weekend.
on the 6th, June 6th.
Six is when yeah,
That's a Saturday.
it will tee off. And another round of big fish pictures will make their way onto the socials.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Stay
I
tuned,
wonder how people are
guys.
gonna take that. Damn it,
Comments,
he caught
comments,
a big
comments.
fish.
Wandering
Snipe,
into the
snipe, snipe,
wrong
snipe.
side.
Yeah.
Just wandering in the wrong neighborhood. Yeah, no, I'm pumped. I'm unfortunately have a wedding on Saturday, that Saturday, but I will be getting out. So
Nice.
I'm pumped. I'm really hoping that like, with this heat, I mean, we had mega heat today. It was almost 90 degrees here in Minneapolis. I think actually over 90 degrees. And it's looking like that heat is not going away anytime soon. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to bring out some of the bigger guns for the Minnesota opener and maybe catch a bucktail fish first one of the year. Be sweet.
I'm excited to hear
Oh
from
yeah.
you. You get out to fish Minnesota opener potentially.
You need to get your ass to Green Bay is what you need to do.
Oh, I know. We've been talking
Yeah,
about
they're
that.
catching like
Well,
57s in the river still.
I was just gonna tee up the next question and let you guys answer it. Over under on Brian getting a 50 this season. That is from Nick Fiesler. Shout out Hawks.
Shout out.
Slur.
Bring back the hunks.
Bring him back. But yeah, I mean over under, I mean really getting a 50 not gonna happen in my limited time fishing in the North Woods, but if I do manage to sneak out a couple times in Green Bay, I like my chances a little bit more.
Are you gonna
So
make your way over? I mean, we got probably a Minnesota trip. Well, you got the Canada trip and probably a
Canada too. Yeah, I forget about that. Yeah.
Minnesota fall trip potentially
Just
this year. So
forget that we
yeah.
got 7 days on the goon. You never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. 7 days on the Goon if we go back to Vermilly. Man, yeah, I guess, yeah, maybe I'm cutting myself short. Maybe I'm due.
I'd put it at like a 25%
Yeah,
chance.
so I will say this is gonna be kind of hard to explain, but I gotta tie these all in. So today in golf league, switching
Hmm.
gears a bit,
Hmm.
par three, right? 185 yards. I into the wind. I pull out a 5 iron and I skull it. It's a skull cut and it's going right at the hole.
Little
And I
Healy
like
cut.
I like can't see past like 150 yards, so I kind of ask my, people in my group like, where did that finish? And like as it's getting close to the hole, they're like, oh my God. And it almost went in, I guess, and it was, like whatever, 15 feet past the hole.
Not a
My
big deal.
point is, I was telling them like a lot of people you hear get the first hole in one are these guys that like skull it up there or whatever and it goes in or like something crazy. You always hear about those stories. So maybe I fit in that category for catching a 15-inch muskie where it's like this guy that just like shows up at Vermilion and like happens to catch a 50. I feel like I might have the odds on my side in that case.
You do. Yeah, that is actually, that's very well said. I think you of anybody have that ability. And I honestly, that's why I've been, just giving you the not so gentle nudge to just get your ass out
On
on
Green
these.
Bay, yeah. Because like I've played 10,000 par threes in my life and never had a hole in one. But I've only fished Green Bay once, so like it's like, oh, his second time out here, he's throwing a bucktail and he caught a fucking 52. So hopefully that's me. That's my point.
He'll be that guy
Yeah,
that everybody
hopefully.
bitches about. Yep. That's
That'd be
gonna be
great.
you.
I'd love that for you.
Yeah, maybe.
I'd be stoked. That'd be sick.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not guided though, like yours. Like, oh no, no. My spot, my choice.
Asterisk, asterisk.
Asterisk. Asterisk 52.
Yeah, yeah. Looking for that Northwoods fitty.
Hmm.
But man, big or small, we love them all. All right, gents. I think we gotta. We're recording this. I think the pod comes out in 5 hours. Um, we're a little
Oh, whoa.
tired, getting a little late here. Gonna quick chop this up and edit.
Are you
Let's
gonna
see
use
here.
Barber's comment for the opener? Did you ever find Bugs Bunny attractive when he put on a dress and pretended that he was a girl bunny?
What didn't he say it was from a movie? I don't know if
I don't
I.
know that movie, but
I'm sure
I laughed my ass off when I
I'm
saw
sure there was a point in my life when I did, brother.
Uh, I'm sure young
All right,
Gus
all
was
right, all
like,
right, all
mm,
right, all right, all right, all right,
all right, all right,
Alright.
all right. So yeah, all right. We got good musky
Uh,
fishing ahead. Still got the NHL playoffs. Shout out Avs for getting swept.
oh,
I guess that'll
good
fun in
showing, good showing.
Cancun. Yeah,
Yes.
great showing. That was a
Hmm.
bummer, sucky series to watch. I think I just watched the Canes take over the Habs here there. It's gonna
Shout
be
out Wyndham
probably
Clark.
Vegas Canes, and I got my money on Vegas. They're an absolute wagon right now. They
Hmm.
just swept a god tier team. So,
And
well,
for our NBA fans, I feel like we haven't touched on the NBA playoffs
boo.
at
Sorry.
all. I,
It's
you
because
know,
we don't
I,
watch them.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm not a fan of any of the teams left. The Knicks seem to be a powerhouse. Not a New York fan in any capacity. I like kind of how they got the Villanova gang back together. So I guess if they play the Thunder, I'll be rooting for the Knicks. If they play the Spurs, I'm all in on the Wemby train until he starts dominating too much. Then I'll become a hater, just like I did with LeBron. But LeBron now is cool and he's a golfer. And he lies a lot, which is also really funny. So I'm back on the LeBron train, but we're rooting for the Spurs for now.
Sounds good. Shout out LeBron.
Shout
Uh,
out LeBron.
picking up the sticks. So, anything to add, Stixie?
Whoa,
Yeah,
hey,
sorry.
nickname drop.
You guys are just pulling out all the stops tonight, huh? All the inside
Hmm.
jokes that nobody else is gonna freaking laugh at.
No,
No,
you just said my
No,
no,
name.
I
no,
got
hell
nothing,
no.
man. I got
All right.
nothing.
Other than follow the socials, follow Mod on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Good amount of our podcasts are in video format, and you can watch them on YouTube. Hit subscribe there. Actually, smash the subscribe button. Smash like, follow.
Slightly. lightly click it. That's all you need to do.
Lightly click, yeah.
Smash,
Just make
smash.
sure it presses for sure.
Smash.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't even take that much effort.
Smash or pass, smash or pass, smash, smash, smash.
Smash. All right. Take us away, Brian.
Oh, all right, everybody. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Muskies on Tap. Shout out to all you listeners this week. Coming for the top chop session this week. Q&A sesh. Nothing better than when we just hop on and rip the Q&A, guys. Thank you for all the submissions this week. I think a record number of submissions on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you guys for being so active. We will have a merch drop coming up in the next 6 to 7 months here. Just around the corner. Maybe hats, maybe t-shirts, maybe sweatshirts. I don't even know, but stay tuned for that. We got the U.S. Open coming up in just a few weeks' time. Past Memorial Day now. I don't even know what we got coming ahead. Yeah, Shinny's going to be an absolute beast. Watch out for Wyndham Clark there. He is finding his groove. Wait for a club twirl on hole 18, on hole 72. Be right, he says. Be right. That's Wyndham Clark.
He is a certified big game hunter.
Nope, not yet.
No. Application pending.
Fair enough.